So Hal Steinbrenner spoke today, and we mentioned earlier that Brian Cashman's going to speak. So, listen, I'm always forthright and try to be honest with the audience. I like Hal Steinbrenner. I think that a lot of the vitriol that's directed toward him, I understand people are unhappy. They had a terrible season, and Hal even said that. 82-80 for a team with a $280 million payroll, it's unacceptable. It's embarrassing. But people say, oh, he doesn't care. He does care. Oh, he doesn't even watch the games. He watches every game, every inning of every game, whether he's in New York or he's in Tampa. He does care. He spends an awful lot of money on the team. Does he spend as much as the Mets? He didn't last year. But to say he doesn't care, you're ill-informed, you don't know. So he spoke today. Now, this is a guy who said on our show when he was on, the last time he was on, that if the season continues to go this way and we don't make the playoffs, there are going to be big changes. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any big changes.
Nope.
It was interesting. The analytics audit, which he said is not really an audit, is going to take a year. So anything that comes of that is not going to happen until next October. So anything that they do in putting this team together for 2024, the people that put your 2023 Yankees together are the team of people that's going to put this team together. Also, the analytics evaluators, they were recommended by the assistant GM of the Yankees, Michael Fishman. Michael Fishman is the head of analytics for the Yankees. He knows these people. Would he ever recommend people that he didn't think were in lockstep with the things? And Michael Fishman's a good guy. But if you think that there's a problem with the analytics, why should the head of analytics be the one who recommends the analytics evaluation firm?
It's like an organization investigating themselves for some...
Well, in college.
Yeah, like NCAA kind of will investigate it, and then they, oh, by the way, happen to find nothing. There was also a quote, it was following Greg Joyce, who covers the Yankees and was live tweeting during Hal. Hal Steinbrenner says that the heat the Yankees analytics has gotten is not justified.
Right.
You know, so
you, I mean, you've been saying this for weeks.
Yeah.
They're going to say we're good.
Yeah, they're going to say they're good. And they're going to make little subtle changes that nobody else is really going to notice. And they're going to hope that maybe they can trade for Soto or sign Bellinger or something to maybe get Ohtani, convince him to come here. And that'll make everybody feel better.
I don't think Ohtani can. But
come I don't think so either. But the point is, Michael, they're going to have to do something significant enough to convince this fan base that at least they were listened to, and that something may change. Otherwise, I really do think it's going to affect attendance next year, because this fan base collectively has lost belief in this team. And if you just roll it back and say, oh, we made some subtle changes to the analytics, you're not going to notice right away, but it's good long-term. Or even Bellinger, I don't think, is going to be enough to move the needle to get these fans convinced that everything is going to turn around.
He would not commit to a $300 million payroll. He said, look at the teams that have won the World Series. They didn't have a $300 million. Really, there's one team with a $300 million payroll, and they were a colossal failure last year, and that's the Mets. He also said, Aaron Boone is his manager. And he asked people that he respects their thoughts on Boone, and they all gave the affirmative. And the four people he asked were Brian Sabean, Omar Minaya, the two guys they brought in, baseball lifers, Andy Pettit, and Nick Swisher.
That's a weird ending to that list.
That's an eclectic group of people. Now, I know that Brian is a huge fan of Nick Swisher. So Nick Swisher does hold some sway. And he was around the Yankees on the road a couple of times during the year, and he knows baseball, obviously, but that's one of the people that he went to. Also went to the players. Now, no player on the and I don't think that Boone was a problem last year. Not one player on the Yankees would say, get rid of him. Judge loves Aaron Boone. Cole loves Aaron Boone. So he asked, like, the leaders of the team. They all said, yeah, he's the guy. That's an odd way to evaluate the manager, but I do believe that Aaron Boone's a good manager. That the team went off the road with injuries and stuff like that. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. But here's the big thing, the big change that they're making that you can actually sink your teeth into. Aaron Boone told the decision makers, our player development people are not teaching guys to bunt. We don't bunt enough. So they're going to teach the guys in the minors to bunt more.
Well, that will make some callers happy.
But, I mean, do you think that was the problem with the Yankees last year? So,
no.
I mean, maybe Boone wants to bunt and move runners, but, you can move a runner to second base, but if the next two guys strike out and don't put the ball into play, what does it mean? I mean, now a bunt from second to third is another story because at least a fly ball gets you in. The Yankee problem is that they're teaching hitting. That swing and miss is still the thing.
But this is interesting because fundamentally, and going back to the movie Moneyball, it's literally and figuratively a four-letter word bunt. Like, they don't even want to do it.
Right, because it's 27 outs and a sacrosanct.
Right. And you said that Aaron Boone's in lockstep with all the analytics.
And Steinbrenner said today that is not true. He said that criticism is unfair. He makes a lot of decisions on his own. But one thing I remember, because we have the tape if they want to deny it. Brian Cashman was on here 5-6 years ago. I said, could a manager of the Yankees go with their gut against the numbers? He goes, absolutely, but it better work. Otherwise, they're going to be questioned.
Yeah, which is it's semantics of saying that, you have
can do
a
what you
say,
want. Right,
but you don't have a say. Because if there's zero tolerance for an error, which is going to happen, then you really don't have any kind of wiggle room.
So, kind of an interesting half hour with Hal Steinbrenner. We're going to try to get him on at some point, but he promised big changes. And unless you go out and get Soto, and unless you sign Ohtani, unless you get Bellinger, what really is a big change? My personal opinion, what they're going to do, I think they will try to sign a Japanese pitcher who's supposedly unbelievable, but there's a lot of teams that want him.
Right.
And I think they'll sign Kevin Kiermaier to play center field. He just won a Gold Glove. He's won a Platinum Glove in the past. He's a great outfielder. He actually hit better last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. But, I mean, do they have the stomach to go for Bellinger at $35 million a year? I don't know.
Money is going to get ridiculous.
And he also said that on the payroll next year is going to be a couple of the kids that came up last year. Now, Dominguez is not going to be available until July. So I'm trying to figure out who of those kids are they bringing up. And the only two I could think of is Austin Wells and Oswald Peraza. Because Volpe's already here, Cabrera's already here. But to start the roster on opening day, I think it's got to be Austin Wells, who will platoon with Trevino, and Peraza, who they might play at third base.
Okay. Not, again, earth-shattering.
Right, and I think you bring up a good point, and something the Yankees have never had to worry about. How will fans react, and will they buy season tickets?
Because everybody kept talking about, well, look at the building is full, even though they were under 500. Those tickets were bought in the beginning of the season during the wintertime. And right now, Michael, how are you hyping up to go buy tickets for a 500 team? Because they were 82 and 80, right? So you're going to have to sell something. Yeah, you could sell Aaron Judge. You could maybe you can sell the return of some of the injured players. But coming off one of their worst seasons in recent memory, Michael, how are you going to get fans to want to invest in tickets that are probably going to go up? You might feel it unless something happens.
All right, here's Hal, before we break, summing up the 2023 season.
I think Cash summed it up. I mean, it was awful. I mean, we accomplished nothing. We didn't win a division, didn't make it to the playoffs, didn't win a series in the playoffs, much less a championship. I went over the winning record. That's a requirement as far as I'm concerned. So the fans didn't get anywhere close to what they deserve. But, we're all very passionate about this. We're working our ass off. And, we're going to do everything we can to right the ship for 2024. But bad year.
It's a bad year, and I think that the Yankees are going to get caught in a situation where they have to throw a shiny object at the fans. Now, the shiny object is not going to be somebody of significance losing their job. I mean, they're going to have a new hitting coach. Mm-hmm. The shiny object has to be a big star that's going to move the needle. Are they going to get into the Soto sweepstakes? I don't think Ohtani fits as long as you have Stanton, so I don't think they should get into that. And is a great Japanese pitcher. I think Yoshinobu, is he something that will move the needle because he's supposed to be amazing and he's young. We'll come back.